Alright, I'm gonna make time go fast. This is as fast as I can make it go. 120.
But Five Guys fries would be much less good if they weren't made with peanut oil. I think peanut oil significantly makes everything potato better when it's fried with peanut oil.
What if I'm allergic to peanuts?
Well, then you're fucked.
Good thing I'm not! Ha 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 ha! I tricked you!
I didn't think you were.
I'm not really allergic to anything, as far as I know. I think I
I'm
might be slightly
to
allergic.
Grass.
I think I'm slightly allergic to like wool. Wool like really makes me itchy if I ever wear something that's like made of full on wool. I start just like itching all over, but that's like the worst. Worst it is. Then again, I know someone who's seems like she's allergic to like literally everything. Like every other time I hear about her, it's about how like she is allergic to something new that I've never heard her be allergic to before. And it's not like I believe her. I believe that she is allergic to all this stuff. It's just like it must make life so difficult to be that allergic to like literally everything.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even function?
Giant nerd guy, what's your favorite fast food?
Oh yeah, giant nerd guy. What is your favorite fast food, giant nerd guy? Fast food, the place and the what you get. Favorite fast food.
Is it Macca's?
I guess I'll just move this later with the hand cart. Great demand at Old Shanty Grains. A tragedy on the river Ohio. Nobody gets that either. Nobody watches that movie. No, nobody likes that movie except for me. What is it then, Giant Nerd Guy, if you haven't had Macca's? Nobody even knows what movie I'm talking about.
Is your favorite band Akadaka?
It is not Mad Max, no. Oh wait, you said Mad Max. Okay. I've never heard of Mad Max. I don't know what that is. It is after 7 o'clock, so we can skip the night. Can someone else skip the night? Is someone else able to go to the house and press R and skip like 9 hours? Or does it have to be me?
You can try. I just need to go inside.
You can just go to the door and then press R, kind of on the door.
How many hours do we want to sleep?
9. Nice. Nice.
Do they have a drive-through, Giant Nerd Guy? Because if they don't have a drive-through, then they don't count as fast food.
Weird. Like, put me underneath the world for a second there. Alright. Someone else start harvesting. I'm gonna make things look pretty. with my hand cart.
If it's in a mall food court, I would say it counts as fast food, even though there's no drive-through.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Although, that's another question that I could ask is, what's your favorite mall food court food?
Even though I know it's objectively shit, I kind of like Sbarro pizza.
It's very greasy pizza, but like it's not bad.
Yeah. Um, I don't know a lot of other
A lot of them are like,
mall specific places.
yeah, a lot of them are like kind of small places that don't really, like you don't really see them outside of a mall, so you can't really, like you never go there unless you're unless you're going to the mall.
I definitely don't like mall Chinese food.
Get off. Get off of here. I'm okay with mall Chinese food. There's actually a mall, like, I hesitate to say Japanese. It's kind of Japanese. It's very, Americanized Japanese. Basically just like teriyaki stuff. But it's it's decent. It's pretty good. But I haven't been to the mall in, again, a long time because of reasons.
Well, if we want to go to a mall, we have the Mall of America.
Oh yeah. How is that? Is that a nice mall? Is it good to go to, or is it annoying?
Well, it's not annoying. Um, if you want to go to a giant mall with actual restaurants in it and an amusement park in the middle, it's pretty good. It's actually not inconvenient to get in there at all. You have exit ramps right off the freeway, pretty much directly into big parking garages for it.
Hmm. It's horse time.
The most inconvenient thing about it is that it's actually not very close because we're kind of on the opposite end of the metro area. But if you're going there for the day, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I don't think I would ever go to the Mall of America just to like shop at a particular store, unless that's the only place I could go, or the
Yeah,
only
that's
place I
not
could
really
find that
what it's
store.
for.
It's really meant for it's almost like a theme park. Like you go in there and you
Well,
just kind of enjoy
there's a
your
theme
whole
park
day.
in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You go there and you enjoy like the entire day there. You don't really just go
Yeah.
there for a quick stop in at the GameStop or whatever.
They do have really good actual restaurants all over in there too. Um, and there's a cheese store that has like a million different kinds of cheese, and they have free samples.
Great, come up here and grab yourself a horse.
All right. And nerd guy, all of our faces, including Lost Joke's non-existent face, are way closer to the Mall of America than your face is.
It's true. It's very true.
I've heard that the Mall of America isn't the biggest mall in the country anymore, though. It hasn't been for a while. I don't
I wonder
really
what
know
is.
where the bigger one is, though.
I've been to some pretty big malls. Like there is a pretty big mall in the city I live, but it's not that big. It's just kind of very sprawling, but I went to one down in was it Georgia? I think it was Georgia. In Atlanta. That was like really big. Like very sprawling. Or at least it seems bigger than the one that is around me.
Did you figure out how to open this gate or something?
No, it's been open. I thought you opened it. You just go up to it and you use it to open it. But you have to not be on your horse. I found a boat here, by the way.
You found a boat?
I found a boat. It's not in good condition, but it is a boat. I don't know why it's here, but it's here. Over to where I am, you can see it. I'm behind you.
Okay.
One of the largest in the southern hemisphere, giant nerd guy. One of the malls. What did it have? Did it have an amusement park in it too? Oh, there's a buoy here too. It's a David Bowie. The buoy, a boat, a life preserver.
Well, this is a common sight in the Nevada desert.
Is it? Is it very common?
Yeah.
I want to find lots of boats.
It was very recently.
In a very landlocked.
It was an ocean floor recently.
Oh, I see. Only a few million years ago. Is that evidence of civilizations long past?
Yeah.
We are a society built on the ruins of another one.
We live in a society.
We live
I don't
in
know.
a society.
This doesn't really feel like a society out here. There's a lot of desert.
Where's that restaurant up there on the hill that we've delivered to before? I don't know how nice it is, though. I've never eaten there. There's like an old abandoned shack over here and a train car. Goes nowhere. On a track that goes nowhere.
You could say we're 1,000 miles from nowhere. And that time doesn't really matter to me.
Those large rope climbing kids things were the shit when I was a kid.
Child's Play place with massive rope climbing thing. Nice.
If he's talking about the same thing I'm talking about, they're big structures of this rope
Opa.
tunnels and stuff where you can climb all over the place.
What, like a play place? Like a McDonald's play place?
Yeah, except massive, like stories tall and...
Yeah, they used to have like... there used to be like places that you could go, you know, as a kid, or be taken by your parents that were literally just a big like McDonald's play place. But it was like it was like that was all that it was, and it was bigger.
Yeah.
Than a McDonald's
there are
one.
places like that around here.
Really?
Some of them are paid, some of them are public parks.
I'm almost done. You're almost done too, Craig. You can probably head back. You'll probably be done by the time you get there.
I'm by the paddock anyway.
Oh, well then you're not done yet. You're only at like 80%. I thought you were further away.
I'm just riding around in circles.
Oh. I was doing more exploring. That's how I found the boat. Oh, I found the boot. Found the boot.
I think the biggest such thing I've seen was at SeaWorld. It was like 4 or 5 stories tall.
Gotcha.
If there were physics, you would have been pit maneuvered.
Just imagining a horse that's been pit maneuvered. Okay, you're done.
That reminds me that when I was younger, I think before high school or freshman year, I went to a local amusement park that had kart racing.
Yeah.
So I went there with some family. We pretty much spent the whole day there. This is one of those big old combo places. So it had go-karts, laser tag, arcade, and the works. It was me,
Mini
my
golf.
cousin, and some other family getting into these go-karts, along with another family that wasn't associated with us. It was just another family that happened to be getting in. So we had like a full line of go-karts for this next race. We're going along, and now if there's anything I actually can fully be admitting that I am, if I had pride in anything, is I'm a very good driver. I've been driving for a
Sure.
very long time, since I was very little, because my grandfather just felt like I should just drive his truck sometimes as a toddler. So we're going through these go-karts, and these are the kind of like budget go-karts. They don't reverse.
Okay.
So if you get into a situation where you're stuck, you have to wait for an attendant to come out and help you.
I feel like that has to be some kind of like cost thing. Like I feel like it would be more expensive to have someone come out and help you every time someone gets stuck rather than just get a go-kart that can reverse.
Anyway,
Thing.
so we're racing, right?
Yeah.
Labor's cheap.
Purely by accident. I did not do this on purpose. I pit maneuvered one of the kids from the other family to the point where he couldn't actually like do anything. This was, I believe, like the second lap in. So he's stuck at the absolute furthest end of the racetrack, so the attendants would have to walk a bit and like try and avoid kids zipping by in these go-karts. So the race keeps going. I lap him a few more times. The entire time he's giving me the absolute worst stink eye he can ever imagine. This little kid is pissed. So pissed, in fact, that he got his friends from his group to try and take me out.
Okay.
So I have up to 3 other kids trying to take me out on this go-kart. So they're actually actively trying to pit maneuver me. At some point, they actually do get me. But here's where the driving thing comes in. I recovered. Like, I went completely parallel to the track. I was skidding for a bit. But I recovered out of the skid and raced as normal. I don't think that kid was very happy to see me just casually recover from this pit maneuver.
Teach him to be the little shit.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why he ended up where he was, it was purely by accident. We bumped into each other, and it was just the unfortunate side that I hit him in his rear tire, and so he spun out. I didn't do it on purpose. It's just accident. But the fact that he put a hit out on me, essentially, and it failed. Well, sorry, them's the brakes, bud. So for the entire race, he made it 2 laps, and for the rest of the race, he didn't get to actually participate because it took the attendant that long to get to him.
I think most go-kart pit maneuvers are accidents because people try to cut in front of other people and they run their own rear wheel into the front side of the person they're trying to cut off.
Yeah, could be. I mean, people don't generally do go-karts like a lot, right? So they're not practiced with it.
Well, in races, you're not supposed to collide with the other racers. That's actually
Yeah.
a penalty against you.
Yeah, it is.
But who's going to really regulate those rules at an amusement park go-kart track? There is a streamer we've mentioned before who has a running gag that he always brings up when there's any remote talk about Mario Kart, is that in college they called him the Drift King.
Drift King. Okay.
Always brings it up. Occasionally brings up the actual photo of him wearing the crown at this like Mario Kart tournament.
You're talking about a Rumble Tumble game.
Yes, I'm talking about Rumble Tumble.
Isn't drifting like a major mechanic in like all the Mario Kart games, though?
Yes, but RT is like he's very good at Mario Kart. I will give him that. I've seen a few of his videos played. He's like frustratingly good.
Is he on hiatus or something?
He's on hiatus. He's taking a break. Well, while RT might be the Drift King at Mario Kart, I'm actually the Drift King at Go-Kart.
I do watch his videos, but I'm primarily a Call Me Kevin fan in that group.
I don't watch either of those people. Never seen either of their videos, even though I know that you've linked Call Me Kevin. I never click on the link.
RT has done some stuff with Yogscast on occasion. Funny you mentioned that his RT stands for Rumble Tumble. I actually have been watching old Yogscast videos and one was with him in it, and they asked him, what does RT stand for? What is that, retweet or something?
Yeah.
So he had to tell them the mildly embarrassing past that he once intended to, I believe, he once intended to stream League of Legends, but he never did. But in League of Legends, one of the heroes is named, I think, Rumble. And one of his abilities, he says, is a bit of a tumble. So that's where it comes from.
I thought that was a joke. Like there are other RT interpretations too. That's not Rumble Tumble, but it seems like they
that
were
is what he told the group there. I think in that instance was genuine. Any other instance of RT might be just a joke.
It's like the Joker from The Dark Knight. You want to know how I got these scars? You want to know why I'm called RT?
Yeah.
Have we talked about our screen names before, Craig? I know you're just Craig, but like you're in other games you have been, and on Twitch you're Sewer Rat. What's that from? Have we talked about this before?
That would be from a certain mutant rat.
So it is a Splinter reference?
Yeah.
Last joke? What's your name from?
I've had that name on the internet since I was like 11 or 12 when I was a Ninja Turtles fan.
Are you not a Ninja Turtles fan anymore?
Not really actively, no.
You still like the old stuff? Or do you just not really into it anymore anyway?
There's not really much reason to be into it anymore.
Yeah. So. Alright, last joke.
Although if they included them in like a Netflix Marvel type show, I would probably like that.
Yeah. Lost Joke, where your name from?
Mine has more explanation.
Well, that's what we're here for. We got 20 minutes left, so do it.
The short story is it is based off of the comedian from The Watchmen.
Okay.
The long of it is, I had read The Watchmen, and I was gearing up to watch the movie when it was coming out. And when it came to comedian, it was a very specific line he said when he was talking, when he broke into one of his Arch's houses, his apartment at night, and he confessed to him. And the thing about the comedian is that he's always laughing, but he's laughing alone because nobody gets the joke. So I took that as a moment to establish a new tag. And this was, gosh, when did The Watchmen come out?
Where are you going, guy? What are you doing? What is this NPC doing? It was like the early 2000s.
Let's see.
I mean, the movie, I should say, not the book. The book came out in like the 80s.
2009. That seems about right.
Yep.
So around 2008, 2009, give or take. Because I don't remember when I actually started reading The Watchmen, but it was because I knew there was a film coming out. My name comes from the comedian, and that nobody gets the joke. So it was a lost joke.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever actually talked about that before. I think I remember hearing about Craig's name being Splinter, but I don't remember that explanation for Lost Joke.
Well, it's because no one asked.
Well, I asked, so there.
This is a special occasion.
Yeah.
So yes, my name comes from the comedian from The Watchmen.
Yeah, it is.
And make no mistake, the comedian is a complete and deplorable asshole. So it's not like I'm idolizing him. I just thought it was neat at the time.
No, like you're one of those people who like idolizes the Joker and makes all of their stuff purple and green because they love the Joker for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. No, this isn't that case. It's like he's a character, but as a person, no, I don't like the comedian. He's just a horrible person. But you know, in the moment, it seemed like this is kind of a cool name. I'm gonna adopt it.
Oh yeah.
Like anything, because it was cool. Or as another way to put it, it was the style at the time.
It was the style at the time.
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it. And what's it is scary to me. And it'll happen to you.
It's true, it will. That was one of the realest things The Simpsons has ever said.
That particular
it's the
quote,
children who are wrong.
that particular quote from Grandpa Simpson actually lives rent-free in my head, and I think about it at least once a day. Because it is true, this is my life now. Oh, I thought it was in the truck. I'm standing next to it.
My name, I literally just like made it up one day.
Your name means go in Romanian.
Apparently so.
I can't. I remember you telling me what you were doing at the time when you came up with it.
All right, what was I doing then? What did I say?
You said it was a name you came up with when you were playing Star Wars Galaxies.
Yes, but no. That is where I came up with the last name that I will use with Merg sometimes. The first name I have been using since Ultima Online days. And there's no real rhyme or reason to it. I just wanted something, like I was having trouble coming up with a name, and I wanted something that didn't really sound like anything else. Like I didn't want it to be like a normal name. I just wanted it to be like a unique name that nobody else really has. And
It's because you
eventually,
want to be a merman, and also because you want to be grimdark.
and I got, I just did Merg. I was like kind of messing around with it, and eventually I came up with Merg. I think I actually had a couple of characters with like a couple of variations on it, but basically it was just Merg. And that's what I've been using. There have definitely been some times when I was not able to get... I have to go to the restaurant for this. When I was not able to get Merg, in which case I switched to something else, something similar.
Before I made the name that I have now, I used another one which was an anagram of my first and last name. It's one of those things that for some reason I was asleep in bed and my brain decided, hey, let's just do this now. I know you're sleeping, but this needs to be done now. So after some tooling a bit, I came up with a handle that for a very long time in the early aughts I used as a handle for forums, which now I use for really obscure things, especially if like I need to come up with a new password or like an email for something. I still use this particular handle.
Yeah, I mean, I've had multiple handles in the past that I don't really use anymore. It's on stuff like AOL or CompuServe.
Nerd guy has a point. Your name means go rim, as in rim job.
That's not my last name though. Mergrim is just what I use when I can't get Merg.
It's all one word.
Yeah, it's all one word. It's like the difference between Tony and Anthony.
Did you guys know the name of the dog from Looney Tunes? The big old brown like pit bull with a little black and white kitten?
No.
The dog's name is named Mark Anthony.
Let's see. Giant Nerd Guy, you got the first 3 letters of my last name, of the last name I use with Merg, not my last name. Not my actual last name, but the last name I use with Merg, you got the first 3 letters correct. The rest of it, no.
Is the first part of your surname your real first name?
No. But like, you know, I used to be even more of a nerd. I mean, this is when I was like, you know, young teenager kind of guy. I would do a lot of role playing on like anime chat rooms and stuff like that in AOL. This is, again, dating me, saying that I was a teenager when I was using AOL. I used to do a lot of like chat room role playing. Like I used to do some anime stuff. I used to do like Star Trek stuff, Star Trek role playing back then. I did some Star Wars role playing. I did some like vampire themed role playing because that's what you did as a teenager in the 90s. You did vampire RP. That was the thing.
Vampires, gross. I did werewolves.
Yeah.
This is a mirroring a conversation I was having earlier today in regards to things we did when we were younger.
Yeah, all the stupid shit that we used to do when we were younger that we kind of cringe at now, but
you know, without name dropping any names, so that their you know, anonymity will be preserved.
Yeah,
but I'm
I don't
going
want
to tell their
names.
Story.
Yeah.
They were talking about how, you know, as kids, probably like maybe 12, 13, you know, around that age, what they would do, they ran around in like a role play group. I think on AOL they mentioned. But because at the time there were parental controls, they couldn't make chat rooms for themselves. So what they would do is they would roam around until they found one that pretty much didn't have anyone in it.
Yep.
And the chat rooms are obviously divided up into the subject matter, and it'd be like a chat room for cooking advice, and they would just kind of move themselves into this and do their werewolf RP, and then like some poor schlub will come in asking a genuine question on like, you know, how to make fajitas, and you know get, you know, rightfully upset that there's just a room full of, you know, werewolf RPers in a cooking chat room. I mentioned this as like the image I got in my head is you know the scene from the Community where Donald Glover comes in with the pizza and everything's on fire and like people are injured. That's that person going in asking with a genuine question of, you know, actual cooking stuff and just seeing a bunch of werewolves.
I mean, that's how it was back then. I mean, you could just look at like a big list of chat rooms that people have made. You can go into any of them, and there might be someone there, or there might not be anyone there.
Like, the conversation started as a joke, you know, of things you would do online, and it started to shift away from a joke and just actually be admissions to things that we've done. Now, I didn't do it, but they were like, I passively joked mentioning a mud. I mentioned a mud because they were talking about essentially that. I never participated because I didn't know what a mud was until, you know, I was much older and muds weren't really a thing, but
yeah,
certainly something that dated a lot of us in regards to the stuff we did to basically just role play on the internet.
Were you werewolves, not swearwolves?
Considering that at our age we shouldn't be swearing in general, so no, we were werewolves, not swearwolves.
Good.
Yeah, I never like swore in chat rooms when I was that young. I just didn't. I didn't do any like weird adult stuff when I was young. It was like I just wanted to pretend to be a cool like character. That's it.
I'm struggling to remember one where I went to interact with chat rooms when I could, because I didn't have internet at my house for a very long time. So I went to like my grandma's because her kids were older and they needed internet for like college, so I would put around on the computer on there. I don't remember the chat rooms I would go to. I don't remember if it was like AOL or anything like that. Far too ancient history for me to even recall. But I did troll around the chat rooms just because that was what you did at the time.
I mean, I would always go into, in AOL at least, I would always go into like specific chat rooms, and they were pretty. The ones I went into were pretty popular. Like they were the kind where they would frequently completely fill up, and someone would have to make like the same name, like 2, like chat room 2 for this. And that was where like people would go, but they're pretty much only there to kill time until they can like get into the main one.
I remember it. It struck me like lightning. The chat interface I used, it was the MSN Messenger Hotmail.
I don't think I ever used that.
That's where it was, where I trolled around.
I don't think I ever used that. I used CompuServe. I didn't really do a lot of chatting directly on CompuServe. I used to use this program. It was one of the first kind of graphical interface chats that they had. It was called Worlds Away, and it was, you can look it up. You can look it up. It's really old, but it was like this weird kind of 2D thing where you like had a body, and then it had like weird things where you could like switch your heads with like various objects. Like you could take your head off and put like a different head on. and that was one of the things that you could buy with the money that you would earn in the game. This wasn't really a game, but like, and then they had this thing where they would have they had like it was like a third-party program you had to get, but it would interact with the chat and it would let you play a game like in the chat, and there was like a limit of how many people who could be like on the screen at once, like graphically. And if you ever went into one of these like areas where there were too many people, you wouldn't see yourself. Like you could still be in the area and you could still chat a bit, but like you would be like on the screen. But it was one of the things that you would really wanted to do is if you wanted to play the game, you had to like wait your turn, and someone would leave. You know, someone on the screen would leave, and then you would come down and be on the screen, and then you could play the game. But yeah, that was like one of the first kind of earliest graphical chat things. Of course, they had like Palace way back then. They had what was it called, like Alpha Worlds, which was almost like a Second Life, except like 10 years before. Not really 10 years. It was more like 6-7 years before Second Life came out. But like, but yeah, but then after that, I just went into AOL, and then I was in AOL for a really long time, and it was all just like I only ever used it for chatting, pretty much. Every once in a while, I might get some news or whatever if I go to the anime keyword channel, because I would have to go do that to get to the anime RP chat room. Anyway, so yeah, I might look at the news or whatever. But before then, it was like the various vampire themed in rooms.
Did you use Kazaa?
A little bit, not much.
I
That was
have
almost
heard
after
of
my
it,
time.
but I didn't use it.
So I was
What
like
about-
almost after my time.
What about Omegle?
That's way
No.
too new for me.
Yeah, that's definitely way after my time.
Also, I'm not nearly social enough to want to do such a thing.
Yeah. Diner guy used MSN to talk to his school friends and see if they wanted to play StarCraft. Oh yeah, I remember when I used to have like a math tutor for a couple of weeks. It wasn't that long of a thing. It's only for a few weeks, but this math tutor, so I would go to his house and he'd like, you know, help me with math, and sometimes when we were taking a break, he would show me. This is like when I was really young, like I was in like middle school at the oldest, but he would show me this BBS. It was an actual like BBS that he had to like dial into, and it was like a fantasy like role playing like BBS thing. You had to like leave like messages and stuff. I remember being like wowed at that.
Omegle probably never should have existed. It's like the opposite of what you want your kids to do on the internet.
Guys, we only have a few minutes left, but I really want this guy to like finish harvesting, and I want to go sell this, so we might go over just a couple minutes before we stop. Yeah, the only other thing I ever used CompuServe. So CompuServe, when I used it for that, it was one of those. It was still going on the pay per hour pricing scheme. Way back then.
Scheme is right.
So I spent a lot of hours. I definitely spent way too many hours on Worlds Away. But the only other thing that I ever really used CompuServe for was like SimCity 2000 save files. Like I found like a channel, as it were, whatever it was called in CompuServe, where they had like a bunch of these like SimCity 2000 like save files that had like all of the what were they called? Like the really big buildings that you get like at the end of the game. Arcologies. They had like all arcologies all over the place and stuff like that. Just like weird stuff that I wanted to play with because I, at the time, did not have the patience to actually play SimCity 2000 the regular way past the first like half an hour of the game. Like, I like placing the buildings and watching them grow, but then when it came time to actually, like, manage the city and make it continue to grow, I was like, nah. I'll do something else.
It's an acquired taste.
I mean, I kind of like it now. I like playing City Skylines. I'd play it more if I didn't feel like I was missing out on all of the DLC that you have to spend, like, $200 on.
Isn't it up to $1,000 now?
On City Skylines, no, I don't think it's that much. You can get most of the DLC for like $70 to $80. You can get like 90% of it at this point when it's on sale. It's kind of still a lot, but it's not like that much. But it's not like it's friggin' Train Simulator where it's like $10,000 to get like every single DLC. But no, it's just that if you keep up with it, you probably end up spending more. Like if you get the DLC like new as it comes out for City Skylines, you would definitely end up spending more than if you wait for a sale. But like, I just never really kept up with it. So now if I want to play and I want to get like all the DLC, I'd have to spend a bit of money, a good chunk. But I'm okay with managing games like that. I have over the years tried numerous times to get into RTS games, and I just can't. Like I'll have fun playing it for like a little bit, and then the RTS game will get like just slightly harder, and I will be completely lost as to how to do it. And the thing is, at that point, it's one of those things where like I will spend half an hour, 45 minutes, or an hour on a map only to finally lose in the end, and I feel like I have no idea why I lost, and I don't feel like spending another hour trying to figure it out and trying to win again. So I just stopped playing. And this is just like campaign maps. Like this isn't even like fighting against anybody like online. This is just me playing by myself. Come on,
did
guy,
you hear
finish
my
up.
phone ring?
No, I did not. This guy has 2 more passes to do, and then I'm gonna go sell. Where am I gonna sell this? Where am I selling the barley at? Where the barley at? Barley does not sell for that much. Barley only sells for $645 at the old Shanty Grains.
It should sell for a lot because beef and barley soup is delicious. That's my only reason.
I don't know if I've ever had beef and barley soup. I will say this field gets more barley than the other field gets soybeans, and I wonder if we shouldn't like switch fields. Like 9 definitely looks like it's bigger than 4, but 4 feels like it's bigger than 9. And I am getting more barley in this trailer than I got soybeans. So I don't know. Soybeans I only ever get like 7,000 or 8,000 liters from that field. But this field I'm up to 9,000 barley. And I haven't actually emptied out the harvester again yet.
The different crops probably have different densities.
Could be. Could be it. We'll see how much I get for this.
I think you would need to compare the same crop on different fields to...
Yeah. I want to compare prices too, because even though barley sells for less, I wonder if it will get me a similar amount because I'm holding more in the trailer. This guy's almost done. I know we're going over by a few minutes, but that's okay. Unless you guys got someplace to be. It's fine if you gotta leave. But I'm not gonna, like, force you to stay here while this guy finishes up. But I'm staying. Staying until the job's done. rip and tear until it is done. All right, I got 13,384. Where am I going? The old shanty grange up there. Okay. So we get about what 14,000 from a field of soybeans. Or at least that's what we've been getting today. I think is indeed what we've been getting today. Let's see how much this sells for. It's not going to be 13,000. It's going to be like maybe 9,000 is my assumption. What?
I'm doing tricks in the truck.
Speed limit 50.
Did you ever play a race game that had big trick areas hidden in the courses?
I mean, oh my god, lost joke. Like Mario Kart has like a lot of jumps and stuff that are kind of hidden that are not necessarily part of the main course.
No, I'm talking about a game where, like, if you went off the track, you could find like a cave and go underground, and there'd be a huge open area with ramps and all kinds of stuff. Loops.
It almost sounds like a Twisted Metal game, but I don't know.
It wasn't Twisted Metal, but it might have been around the same time period.
Well, I have to say no. I don't think I've ever played a game like that. I probably did at some point. I just don't remember it.
I don't remember the name, but it was fun. Twisted Metal was a fun multiplayer
8.6.
game.
That's what I thought. Just like the simulations. I like Twisted Metal. Are they bringing that back?
No.
Why not? I thought they were like bringing it back, or they were like making a movie or something.
Movie maybe, but no, the game is not coming back.
Why? Why make a
The
movie?
era
and not a
of
game?
car combat has gone the way of the past.
It's unfortunate. It's very
Which is
unfortunate.
lame. They should also bring back Road Rash.
Modern day Road Rash would be amazing. A lot of games like practically are already like Road Rash, like a lot of vehicle games.
They should also bring back Mutant League Football.
They have Blood Bowl you could play. Not really the same kind of game though.
I think they're making another Blood Bowl 3, I want to say.
Yeah, Blood Bowl is, I think, a fairly successful franchise so far. Video game franchise. Alright, well we
Mario
made
Kart still has car combat, but that's very different from Twisted Metal.
8,600 bucks from this field of barley, which is not bad. It's not bad. Definitely less than soybeans. Soybeans are definitely the main money maker.
A Twisted Metal movie would be dumb. It would just be a Fast and the Furious rehash. Maybe more violent.
Twisted Metal? I mean, Twisted Metal also had like guns in the cars and like that one guy who was just like in the middle of the two big wheels on the side of him. Never seen that in a
Axle.
Yeah, I've never seen that in a
Hollywood would just
Fast
make
and
it.
Furious.
Hollywood would just make it a lazy hybrid of Fast and the Furious and Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah, they probably would. I mean, Mortal Kombat was kind of shit. The new one.
Yeah.
The new one was kind of shit. I mean, the old one was shit too, but like the old one was more fun to watch.
The old one was camp.
Yeah.
Hollywood used to make fun shit. Now it makes shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna put this harvester away too. Like, worry about maintenance next week. Just want to push it away. Oh, I'd like a tidy farm, you guys. I like a nice, tidy farm. Yeah, they would. Join our guy, you're right. They'd put in a romance subplot. Are there even any female drivers in Twisted Metal? They're all male.
Several.
Are there? I don't really know that much about Twisted Metal. I know the clown and I know Axel, and like that's it.
Was there like a skeleton that was on fire in Twisted Metal?
Probably.
Not on fire. That was Sweet Tooth's thing.
Oh yeah, his hair was on fire.
Was the
or something.
clown on fire?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he was
think
on fire.
He had fire
Okay.
hair.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth would get a romantic interest. He'd be the protagonist with a heart of gold.
That's a joke.
What?
I see you there.
He
Doing
said,
all your
I'm doing
tricks
in the
on,
truck.
Doing all your tricks on video.
His love interest would probably be the skeleton.
All right. We're done. We went over by 10 minutes, but we're done.
They would talk about boning.
Thanks everybody for watching our boning stream. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.